One time I was in this bar, it was a karaoke night, so I decided to go up and sing a song. The song I chose was Creep by Radiohead. Now, I'm the kind of person who overestimates my ability to sing, and while singing the song during the bridge where Tom York really lets out those high notes, I remember trying to go for those high screams instead of just playing it safe. And at that moment, while I was up on stage, the power goes out in the entire bar. So I had to go sit down, and when the power came back, they had somebody else come sing a different song. Thinking back at that time, I wondered if the bar just cut the power because I was so bad, or it was just a coincidence. So the first time I was introduced to the band Radiohead was through the song Creep. My initial impression was that they were very reminiscent of Nirvana, and I believed they would be the next big grunge band. Creep featured a chord progression similar to Nirvana songs, which was repeated throughout the track. They used arpeggiated chords in the verse and power chords in the chorus, common style for grunge music, especially Nirvana. However, the band was not pleased with the success of Creep, as it categorized them into this particular genre. So in this video, we will explore how the success of the debut album, Pablo Honey, influenced the future of Radiohead. So Radiohead originated from Abingdon School in Abingdon, Oxfordshire. They landed a recording deal with EMI in 1991. Despite initial lackluster reception of their singles Creep, Anyone Can Play Guitar, and Stop Whispering, Creep eventually gained global radio airplay and peaked at number 7 on the UK singles chart when it was re-released in 1993. Pablo Honey, the band's debut album, achieved number 22 on the UK albums chart and was certified gold in the UK in 1994 and triple platinum in 2013. It received generally positive reviews, although some critics regarded it as derivative or underdeveloped. While less acclaimed than Radiohead's subsequent works, retrospective reviews have been positive and has been included in various lists of greatest albums. So Radiohead members have expressed dissatisfaction with the album, citing weaker songwriting and inexperience in the studio. Nonetheless, Creep remains the band's most commercially successful single. So Pablo Honey was Radiohead's debut album, released on February 22nd, 1993 in the UK by Parlophone and April 20th in the US by Capitol Records. So it's celebrating its 30th anniversary. This has the successful single Creep that gave the band momentum, but it was kind of a double-edged sword. The single's success led to critics dubbing them as Nirvana-lite, assigning them into a grunge genre they didn't want to be associated with. The album was underwhelmingly and commercially unsuccessful when it first came out. However, Creep gradually gained worldwide popularity, resulting in the band's first overseas gig in Israel, and then they got a lot bigger afterwards. It charted in the US, peaking at number 2 in the modern rock charts. By the way, if you ever want to hear a Radiohead like really early in their career, they had a single called Pop Is Dead. It's like Radiohead sounding like Dinosaur Jr. It's a really cool song to check out, and it's one of those songs that like they don't really get credit for, and it's not really talked about. And I definitely recommend checking it out. The subsequent success of Creep has led to the band disliking it and becoming frustrated with it. Despite the lack of critical acclaim for Pablo Honey, it has appeared on several lists of greatest albums, with retrospective reviews being generally positive. Nonetheless, the album's reception, especially Creep's success, had a significant impact on the band's works. Notably on their second album, The Bends, which marked a shift in their sound and established them as a band that refused to be pigeonholed into any particular genre. The Bends received critical acclaim and was a commercial success, thanks in part to the momentum gained from Creep and Pablo Honey. However, it was clear that Radiohead had no interest in replicating the success of Creep. They were intent on exploring new sounds and pushing the boundaries of their music. Looking back, Pablo Honey is a fascinating document of Radiohead's early years, and the band struggled to break out of the shadow of their biggest hit. While it's not the most acclaimed work, it's a solid debut that showcases the raw energy and potential of a band that would go on to become one of the most important and influential acts of the 1990s and beyond. For fans of Radiohead, it's a must-listen, not only for Creep, but also for the many other great tracks like Anyone Can Play Guitar and Thinking About You. So let's talk about those two songs. Anyone Can Play Guitar, it's a really good song. It's lesser known, but it was a fan favorite. I really like the line, I Want to Be Jim Morrison, because it's about people who just like want to be rock stars. It wasn't as big as Creep, but it's a testament to Radiohead's talent for crafting like these infectious and inspiring alternative rock songs. And then Thinking About You, another one, I really like it. It's catchy, it has a catchy guitar riff, a simple melody, and it kind of stands out. The lyrics are open to interpretation. There could be like a singer's longing for someone he has a crush on, or he imagines various scenarios where he could be with her. Now the song is overshadowed by Creep, but Thinking About You is another great song on a really great album. Definitely worth checking out if you are unfamiliar with this album. So overall, Pablo Honey, it's not their most successful album, but it's an important one that kind of paved the way for their future success. It's a snapshot of a band on the cusp of greatness, struggling to find their place in the music world and refusing to be defined by a single song or genre. If you are a fan of Radiohead or just curious about the band's early years, definitely check out Pablo Honey if you've never listened to it. In my opinion, Pablo Honey, it's a fantastic album. It showcases the band's early experimentation and exploration of different styles. Although the subsequent releases saw a departure from the sound, I still find this album to be a great alternative rock record. It used to be considered a grunge album at the time of release, but even after 30 years, I still hold it in high regard. One of my favorite Radiohead albums, alongside with OK Computer, The Bends, and In Rainbows. Me personally, I prefer Radiohead with a more guitar-oriented like rock sound, as opposed to a more electronic direction like recently. But I still respect their artistic choices. So in conclusion, Radiohead's debut album, Pablo Honey, marked the beginning of the band's journey in the music industry. While it received mixed reviews and some criticism from the band members themselves, it also contains some really popular songs, Creep and Thinking About You and all these different songs. It's just showcased the band's talent for alternative rock, and it's just set the foundation for their experimentation with music in different styles and sounds. So ultimately, the success of Pablo Honey paved the way for Radiohead to become one of the most innovative and respected bands in contemporary music. So that is all. I have a playlist right here of 2023 anniversary reviews. These are all retro reviews celebrating anniversaries. You can check it out. I have about, 10 or 11 so far. So thanks for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.